I have all of these naked nodes. So I'm going to propagate them in my perlite. So this is like one of those Jiffy seed starter things. The lid is holding all of these naked nodes. So I'm just gonna cut all these up, place them right on top of this. There's already water in here. So I used almost a whole 8-quart dry bag of perlite. I put water in it until it was just under the perlite. Right now, like when I'm holding it, if I move it slightly, I can see the water in the corners. That's how I know there's enough water in there. Because really, once I put the nodes on top, I put the lid on, the humidity does the rest. I don't want to open it. I just want to leave it in there for the humidity to do its work. So really, that's all I'm doing. I went through all these and took out all of the nodes that had leaves on them, and that's what went into my ultimate propagation station out back. So now I'm just cutting the nodes. For this, I don't know what kind of plant it is, but I'm just putting them all together in this thing. This is a node, this is a node. A node is a place on the stem where a leaf comes out. Right now there is no leaf on it. It's still a node, and that's what you need for a new plant to grow. So I cut off that stem, the extra stem. I'm gonna cut right below it. So that node right there is what will produce a whole new plant. And I'm just gonna keep going down this stem and just cutting off the excess and then keeping the node. That will be a whole new plant in the future. Sometimes they have a little aerial root coming off of it. So that's an aerial root. And then the activation point or auxiliary bud will come up, I don't know what side exactly, but it'll produce new growth around this node area. You can like put the aerial root into the perlite. I'm not doing that. I just throw them right on top. I don't really have any rhyme or reason to doing any of it. I just throw them in. You could use sphagnum moss as well, and I have lots of prop boxes that use sphagnum moss. I think I really like using perlite because when I'm making my soil mix, I add perlite to it anyway. And with sphagnum moss, you have to remove most of that sphagnum moss in order, like remove it from the roots. And it's kind of harsh on the roots. Whereas the perlite, I can just kind of like lift it out and perlite will be stuck on the roots. And that's okay because it's part of the soil anyway. You don't have to remove the perlite, so it's less aggressiveness on the roots. I'm gonna be here all night. This one is a lot thicker, and I'm just gonna cut it like this. I get a lot of comments of people saying, don't you callus it? It should callus. These are thicker stems. You could very well let these callus over, but like they're not in direct water right now. Like Dieffenbachia, the real thick ones, I do let those callus. I'm not waiting. These have already been cut from the mother plant for at least a week now. I'm not waiting any longer. And if I had to wait to callus all of these over, I would probably never get to propagating. Sometimes they just start putting new growth out wherever they are. Like, do you see that little? That could have been already growing prior to cutting it, but who will know? This one is like really thick. Again, I'm not letting it callus over, but I am just gonna like put it on top. It'll kind of callus over in here. Like I said, it's not sitting in water. It's sitting on top of the perlite. There is water under the perlite. I actually put this in a closet. I have a linen closet on the other side of this wall here. And the top of it is for like random stuff. And then the bottom of it, I have lights. There's like one shelf. This goes on that shelf with lights above it. And then there's a spot on the floor that has lights under that shelf. And I kind of put my rehabbing plants in that area so that I don't have to look at them. and it stays nice and humid in there, and things do really well. So I like to use my closet space. I know, crazy plant lady, but I have a really small house and I like to use every last inch of it. Sometimes they just kind of end up with like a whole cluster of nodes like this, and I'm just gonna leave it like that because I think all those might activate and then have like a whole bunch of growth points on it. I used to string beads. I saw it on TikTok one time, like putting beads on the in between the nodes. Don't do that unless your beads are really big. I think it was a demise of quite a few leaves that were trying to unfurl, and the bead was so tight on there, and then I couldn't get it off. So like, don't use small beads, use big beads if you choose to do that. It's actually a really cute idea, enough for me to want to do it, but like quite a few leaves got stuck. Like this one, this bead is pushing too small. And like at the time it wasn't too small, but like the stem kind of grows thicker. I'm sorry, did I wake you from your slumber? There's a good boy. There's a good boy. In this type of propagating, I don't want leaves in there. If any of these had leaves and like the high humidity would probably rot. The leaves would rot. So this method of propagating is strictly for just the nodes. I know a lot of people say that their nodes rot. Maybe like they're not getting enough light. Maybe you're cutting too close to the node. Maybe your medium is too wet. Like if your sphagnum moss is too wet, if this perlite was filled and the perlite was like floating around too much, it's too wet. Like I said, none of these nodes are touching water. They're only touching the perlite. The water line is below the perlite. I don't really open it. Like it'll probably stay in there for months before I do anything with it. I'll check on it like through the clear top, but other than that, I try not to open it. I mean, opening it won't hurt it. I just set it and forget it if I'm like, I have many other things to worry about. Like, I'm really not like checking up on it often. This is what it looks like. Lots. I know. I'm just gonna kind of scatter them about and then put the lid on it here. And then this goes in my closet, like I said. So I actually did this last year, and I want to show you that one, which I've done updates on it before, but this is last year's, and I did the same thing. I think there was a lot fewer nodes, and I'm not going to wait a whole year to pop them up, but this is the one from last year. I am actually going to pop this up, and you'll see it tomorrow. So look out for that, but I'm excited to do so. I should have done it probably 6 months ago. This one probably won't go a whole year without potting it up, because I'm trying to be better about cutting, propagating, potting up, getting rid of. I think that's going to be my goal for this coming year, is letting go of the plants. I can't keep every single one. It's just hard for me. But that is how I'm propagating all these. I'll see you soon.